This is where everybody gets it wrong, including myself. You put all the work in, and then you're waiting for these things to happen, but you don't realize that inaction is the best action. Once you've taken action, there's nothing more you could do. You just have to wait for the universe to reveal itself, because the divine plan has its own divine right time in divine volition, meaning that it's not according to your timetable. So that's where patience becomes more than a virtue. It becomes a necessary element to the manifestation process. And I get this wrong from time to time, because what you want it now. And sometimes things take a long time. So in that time of waiting, you become discouraged and you just give up. And everybody's guilty of this. So when you know you've taken all of the necessary steps and you've put all the action in, then that's it. There's nothing else you could do. So in that instance, in that moment, you have to say to yourself, inaction is the best action. And just allow the universe to do what it's going to do, because like I said, it's on God's timetable, not ours. So that's what everybody needs to learn. I mean, it's something that's not in the nature of most human beings. They think that they have to keep working in order to the results to come, and then they can gauge their success by the results that they see. That's training. The divine doesn't work that way. That's that 9 to 5 mentality, grind. That's why they call it a 9 to 5 grind. But exactly what is it that's grinding? It's grinding your soul and your heart and your mind all together into dust, is what it's grinding. You got to get out of that archaic mentality where you believe that you have to work, 500-hour work weeks and, 37 days a week, that kind of ridiculous, unattainable nonsense. They just want you to work yourself into a grave like a machine. So when you know that you've done all the work, because action is not, you can't do anything without action. If you know that you've taken all the necessary steps, you've done all the progress, you've taken the action, you've taken the initiative, you've done the work, you put in the time, and I was like, okay, there's nothing else I could do. That's when you have to say, okay, now let the universe handle the rest of it. And that's exactly where we all get it wrong, because we're waiting for this thing to manifest. And when it doesn't manifest, you feel that you haven't done enough work. So you continue to work more. And that only serves to, slow down the process. It's very precarious. It's a very precarious process, because you have to really, there isn't like a book that you're given to say, okay, this is how the universe works. Oh, I get it now. I didn't understand it before. Oh, I knew what that was. I just didn't know what to call it. That kind of thing. It isn't like a teacher's edition where it has all the answers. You don't get anything. Even when you become a parent, you don't get like this manual that says, here's how to become a proper parent. Read it. It doesn't work like that. That's why your first child, you're always going to make the most mistakes with your first child. And then when you learn from that, your second child, you'll make less mistakes. By the time you have your third or fourth, you pretty much got it down. But you're always going to make your greatest mistakes with your first child, because you just don't know. You're new to it. And that's the same with the manifestation process. It isn't like, you have an angel in front of you saying, here, my child, here is the book of the universe, and just learn from it. This way you know exactly how it works, and you'll never make mistakes, and you won't be impatient and have a meltdown and be discouraged because, we work on a different timetable than everyone on earth. It's not going to happen. So you have to pretty much figure this stuff out on your own. And unfortunately, in doing so, in that process, you get frustrated and disgusted and discouraged. But anyway, don't give up, because, like I said, when you've done all the action, then at that point, inaction is the best choice to go with. It's just basically time to relax and let the universe unfold and do its magic as it always does. Amen.